Happy salty spring, everybody! Welcome to the first ever episode of Darkened Tides, a Saltmarsh adventure from Critical Fayle DM. This is the first episode of what will be our first ever Patreon exclusive adventure. This month, April 2025, we will be putting the first 2 episodes on our main feed, hence Salty Spring. So, if you like what you hear and want to hear more, head over to the Patreon. We'll tell you a little bit more about that after the episode, but for now, enjoy Darkened Tides Episode 1, Any Port in a Storm.
I have a proposal for a cold open. Everybody do your one sentence in for your character voice.
Okay.
I think about what mine is.
Okay, I think I have one.
Okay.
I'm just so glad to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. I brought a rosemary bush. I hope no one's allergic.
Oh, no. Oh, no. That's great.
I'm probably going to die.
Oh, Sabina.
No, you'll be okay.
You, madame, have got to be the most beautiful woman I have ever seen on the 7 seas.
Look, here's the thing. I was sold off the one eye, then the other blink. Like, that was really what sold me. Yeah, I'm in. I'm fucking in.
Oh my god.
Y'all are coming up with like in character stuff. That's fabulous.
Mine's not going to be.
I was pulling something from something else.
Oh wait, what did you mean? Like
the line that you say to get into your dialect.
Yeah, drop in line.
Mine is a line from Peter and the Starcatcher. How old are you? I'm 13. I'm 13. I just remembered today's my birthday. I'm 15.
I can't say I'm fully sure what I'm doing here. But I'm happy to help.
Oh, that's great.
That should be a bumper sticker for every well-meaning individual.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
That's great.
I'm not sure I know what I'm doing here, but I'm happy to help.
We are more than happy to have you.
White people in 2025.
Do we have permission from Tyler to say why he is not here for this?
I was wondering that. I almost said it last night on stream, but then I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think we would wait until.
Yeah, we don't have confirmation, so let's not until then.
Well,
but.
I think we can say it, but this is not streamed. This is going to be an edited thing. So I think we can say, and then if he says if he says don't say it later, we can just cut it out.
Sure.
But the reason we're doing this on the whole is because our backlog of Strahdcast recordings is getting a little thin, and it's getting a little difficult to pad it these days because one of our members just had a baby.
Yay!
A little bab.
A little babe.
Another one. Another one.
Yeah.
A wee boy
Yes.
has entered Tyler's life.
Was born on the Ides of March.
Yeah.
Oh, remember. No, that's not.
Nope, let's cut the mic.
An auspicious omen.
Yeah. Never forget.
Born with a knife in his hand. It was crazy.
Oh, shit.
Performed his own C-section.
Oh. Just cut his way right out. That's terrible.
His own cesarean section, you might.
Actually, that's a perfect time to
Launch missile.
That's a perfect time to introduce the newest drop on my soundboard, which is
Yes, the Wilhelm scream.
Yes! On boats, that's going to get so much play.
And suddenly somebody falls off the top mast.
Trevi, will you talk a little bit about what we're doing here and what the campaign is?
Yeah, so this is Ghost of Saltmarsh. I'm really excited to be here. I'm also really, really excited to be joined in the studio by our dear sweet friend Ree, who is...
Oh my God, thank you.
Who is now a regular with us on Twitch. And the reason that I was excited to run Ghost of Saltmarsh is because I played in a Ghost of Saltmarsh campaign run by our very own Ree.
wow.
Pirates are my favorite. What can I say?
Yeah.
Ree really made the world sing and made it so exciting enough that I, for years now, have been excited and wanting to take a team of adventurers through this campaign setting book. So Saltmarsh is a sort of nautical-themed adventure setting. It's less like Curse of Strahd, which has sort of a narrative running through it, and more of just a place with several... Like how many is it? It's like 7 different...
There's 6 different stories, only 3 of which are like connected to each
to each other. So there's like it's really like a place where you can just live. It's designed for the kind of D&D where you're like thinking about how your player is making their living. It's, you know what I mean?
Okay, all right.
There are mechanics for time to pass and for carousing, for you to earn coin, hire crewmates, build ships. Like you can, it's really, the setting is designed to really immerse yourselves as citizens of Saltmarsh. It is the home base for the campaign, and it's different than Curse of Strahd, and I think our little traversal through it will also feel very different. Yeah, but no, Saltmarsh. Great start.
Born and raised in Swamp Ass.
Yeah.
Or Smarsh, as it's known affectionately for us.
Smarsh, yes. Dear sweet Smarsh. The city of Saltmarsh can be much more put together by all of our instincts rather than Barovia is really a creation from my brain that you uncover as you make your way through the valley. This, I'm more interested in building the lore of it out altogether, since we are all denizens of said town.
Sensual.
I think I'm going to have a very light editing touch on this series. Yeah. You should
let her fucking go. Just
let it all hang out.
That's well said, Kay, and I think that's a good instinct, because I also want this one to be I'm going to endeavor to make the vibe of this one pretty piratey, a little irreverent, a little dirty, a little naughty, a little carefree. You know what I mean? It's just Saltmarsh is a bastion of civilization in a wild, wild world. For
I'm sorry. Ree's flying out of her pantsuit over there.
I'm just really excited.
Its immediate surrounds are a vast, wild wilderness. The Hool marshes are untapped, salty, marshy plains like you see. You know, if you drive down to like the gut of New Jersey, you know what I mean? And it's just miles.
Fuck that guy in Elden Ring. The gut of New Jersey.
It's like that swampy sodden ground, and that's like basically the entire scape.
So
to
briny
the
smelling.
It smells like that.
To the south is the Dreadwood, a vast, impenetrable, dark forest filled with all sorts of horrible creatures that few dare to tread into. And then, of course, off to the west is just the Azure Sea, which is a vast, largely unexplored stretch of ocean, teeming with life. And so the Saltmarsh, for almost as long as it has existed, has primarily been driven by fishing and trading. For a long time, it was a simple place, a little tiny bastion of civilization in this vast wilderness where people fished and made their livings and scratched out an honest living amongst the rock and salt. Unless you were a smuggler, and then you scratched out an unhonest living. But I digress.
It ain't honest, but it's much.
Uh-huh.
There we go.
This way of life, this lifestyle of like keeping things the way they always have been and preserved just the way that Saltmarsh has always been, is held up by the traditionalists. The traditionalists are the faction of the rulers of the city who want to just sort of maintain the way that Saltmarsh has always maintained itself. Stick to their traditions and roots. It's always worked. They want to stay the course. They are opposed by the royalists. Saltmarsh is technically of the kingdom of Kyoland. I can't imagine it's going to play a big factor in our campaign, but just so you know. And Kyoland has recently fallen on hard times, and because of that is now deeply interested in turning Saltmarsh into a more valuable asset to the crown. And so a new class of merchants has come to Saltmarsh looking at its vast natural resources as well as its strategic location. And they foresee it turning into a center and hub of trade, a metropolis on this lonely coast that could make everyone, themselves and the king, richer. That's the kind of backdrop. And these two opposing forces have left tension in the town between folks who want to keep to the old ways and those who wish to make something more of their little spot of coast. This has only been exacerbated in very recent days by a steep decline in the catch that the fishermen bring in every day. It has been a noticeable drop. They're still bringing in hauls, but maybe like 75% of what they're accustomed to. And if the pattern proceeds this way, things could get very dire. So things have been tense the last few days in Saltmarsh. That is what fills the air. And the mind's eye flies down to the very city streets, tracing the coastline to a tavern. Loading. I'm going to remember that. I'm going to do a lot of loading.
Yeah, we're loading.
I'm going to do a lot of loading.
Loading?
I'm going to do a lot of loading.
The screen says, did you know fish can be caught with bait?
And then faces
If you are having trouble catching a fish, try changing your bait. Or fishing in a different location. Thanks,
and then it
fucker.
says, remember, friendly fire isn't.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
You may eat fish, but fish can eat back.
Built on the inlet where the Kingfisher River empties out into the Azure Sea, the Empty Net is one of the less reputable places in town. A haven for smugglers, mercenaries, assassins, and even pirates. It is a place where the rougher denizens come to drink away their worries. This is where we find ourselves at the beginning of our adventure here. And let me get some tavern ambiance here. Let me get thank you, Kay.
Oh, it's that kind of tavern.
Oh my.
I think there's two drow twins in the corner that won't talk to us.
That's how they tavern in their family.
Tavern. I hardly know her.
Tavern.
Hardly know her.
Damn near killed
I
her.
hardly gets hit with a beer. That feels right.
As the wheel turns, the one thing we can learn from its ageless cycle is that nothing happens on accident. People important to the turning of the world are placed where they are meant to be at just the right moment. And it just so happens that all of you have business tonight at the Empty Net. What it is your own. But as we move our way into the Empty Tavern, it is a building built out over the river, put up on stilts. So half of it is up on the shore, and then the back half of the building actually makes its way out over the river with a balcony framing the back of the building over the open water. Inside, the dimly lit, dirty tavern is packed full of patrons, rough-looking sailors and soldiers, hunched around tables dealing cards, chatting amongst themselves, probably some half-orcs arm wrestling, and maybe some heads turn, a little taken aback as not one of the usual enters the door. As you hear the tinging of a bell and the door to the Empty Net swings over. I'm going to roll a d4, and that's going to determine who goes first to introduce themselves.
Fear, panic, and fear.
Who's arriving first? As the door swings open, Ned.
Yay!
Ned walks. Ned's in here.
Ned here?
Hey, can I get a giggling? Thanks.
Who do we see enter the Empty Net Tavern?
I see a tall, robust-looking conquistadorian of a man. I mean, a pointy mustache, long kind of black curls bounce off his shoulders.
A little Inigo Montoya.
A little bit, yeah. Piercing green eyes.
Oh, nice.
Through a Baltic complexion, if you will.
I will.
Yeah. His shirt is stained, and his doublet is tattered, and at his hip sits a beautifully built rapier. And he kind of steps in and takes a look around, and as he looks to the bar, he goes, "Yes." And then he goes to take a step and falls flat on his face. He is shit-faced. So he falls flat on his face. He promptly gets himself up.
Is this a place that you have, is the Empty Net a place that you frequent to? Would people be familiar with
Some would say he owes a debt here at the Empty Nets.
Just the one?
Yeah, so as you face plant onto the dirty deck of the tavern,
Yes.
A group off to the corner who saw you come in, a bunch of deckhands or dock hands, people who load the ships before they go out with their trade goods. They all start busting up laughing laughing. Oh, Claudio! Looks like your sea legs are still screwed on.
They may be, but at least I have them, you deckhands. And then he just kind of stumbles over to said bar and, like, he sits down, misses the stool, like, falls to the floor, gets back up, sits on the stool. Barkeep!
The barkeep makes his way over. A man you know by the name of Kreb Shanker. He has fine white hair which sticks out at all angles, melding seamlessly into robust sideburns which move down his jawline, framing a mustache around his mouth. He has bright blue eyes, a thin scar draped across one eyebrow, and continuing on just below his cheek. He wears a tattered, bartender shirt with a thick apron that looks like it's made from, the ropes they use on sailing ships almost. And he makes his way over and says, "Right, so I don't usually do this, but Claudio, you haven't paid your tab the past few times, so I'm gonna have to ask for some coin first before I bring you a drink this time,
Shanker, the question is not whether I have paid my tab. The question is, will I pay my tab? To that, I answer you, yes.
Okay, well, it's gotta be fucking now then.
Well, I could pay you now, or I could have 3 more heirs and pay you a larger sum. And to that I ask you, would you like a lower sum of money? Or would you like a larger sum of money?
It drives a hard bargain.
I would like any sum of money from you right fucking now.
Well, it will be lower than what it could be.
You're gonna be lower than what you could be if you don't pay up, you charlatan.
Can I roll like a persuasion?
Sure, yeah, why not? Yeah. Roll me a persuasion. Roll me a persuasion.
Don't fuck it up.
All right.
Yeah, roll me persuasion.
That is a 13 on the die for a 15.
Right, I'm gonna do an opposed roll and see what happens. Yeah, okay, all right.
Listen. I know I am not flush with coin as you would like me to be when I come into your establishment, but I would like to tell you, I have recently come into a large sum of gold.
How large are we talking?
To the tune of 25 gold.
Well, that should just about cover it.
Yes.
All right, you son of a bitch.
An ale, please.
Yeah,
Good Captain.
If you weren't so handsome, you wouldn't drink for free all the time.
We can't all be perfect.
Just remember, though, Turtleback Buckley is not going to be as forgiving as I am.
Oh, him? Oh.
Cut 2.
Why didn't you say so?
And you said, Trevor, what time is it now? It's
Evening. Yeah, it is past. It is well into the evening now. The setting sun has just dipped beyond the horizon, leaving the town draped in torchlight. So next to enter the tavern, we're going to have Campbell. The door again opens. And who do we see?
The door swings open, and a gal in her late teens comes striding in, and I feel like the camera is like traveling along with her as she's passing by a bunch of rough and tumble dudes, and she's the cleanest thing in here. Mm-hmm. And she is striding long strides in her brown heeled lace-up boots, and swinging her arms jauntily by her sides, chin up high, smiling. And she's about like 5'5" height, tiefling. And you see, I feel like she passes by a table and someone looks back and you can see her tail swinging out from under her dress. And on the end of her tail, rather than forked like a devil, it looks like a little set of fins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like a mermaid's tail.
And as she strides past in this teal dress with a little ruffle at the bottom, you can see her like white, clean lace bloomers poking out from the bottom. She's got salmony, light skin and poofy, curly teal hair that's up in a couple of space buns with braids falling in front of her pointy ears. Her skin, if you look, it looks sometimes when she makes an expression like it's shifting a bit, like it catches light as it was light would over the water. And coming out of her head are 2 horns that at the base of them are bone white. And then they branch out like coral.
So fucking cool.
It's like a salmon and mauve. Upturned dark eyes. And she smiles as she strides right up to the bar, gets both elbows there, leans over. And would she know this barkeep?
Yeah, probably, yeah, at least by reputation.
And what was his name again?
Kreb Shanker.
Very honest name.
Yes. Good evening, Kreb.
Oh, yeah, I know you. Aren't you Deacon's little girl?
Yes, I am, and I can't find him anywhere. Has he come through tonight?
well, if I know Deke, then, coming to look in the tavern is good instincts, kid.
Well, he wasn't in the snapping line as he usually is, so now I'm trying more unusual places.
Oh, well, yeah, you could certainly say this is one of the more unusual places in town, but I'm really sorry, sweetheart. I ain't seen Deke today.
No?
Nah, afraid not.
And as like a darkness falls over her face, you could swear an actual darkness passes over her face, and it's like when a whale is passing under a boat. Like a shadow passes over her face.
Have you tried the Hanged Man?
The Hanged Man?
The Wicker Goat.
The Wicker Goat! Well, of course I've tried the Wicker Goat. I've tried them all, and he's nowhere to be found.
Yeah, I know Deke. He probably went down to the shore to catch some crabs, maybe sober himself up, let him pinch his toes. I'm sure he'll be by before too long if you want to wait. Happy to get you something.
Went to the wrong tavern if he was trying to catch crabs.
Caught a lot more than crabs, he did.
Thank you, Kay. Thank you, Kay. That's delightful.
All right. Well, I will, in fact, have something sweet, something after dinner.
Oh, sweetness is not going to be too much around here, sweetheart. This is more of a salty vocation in here.
What are you drinking?
He drinks whatever I give out to him, the lout.
Shanker! How about a nice glass of port for the lady?
Port.
My tab.
Your tab is just about as good as her old pa's stories, but I guess I'm running a charity today.
Well, wait! Are you... I sort of lean into you. Are you short of coin?
I am in between jobs at the moment.
Aren't we?
However, I am never short of coin.
He winked at me. Did you see that?
Yeah, just be careful. He'll slay a swordfish with that wink.
Well, I find myself also a bit short of coin, so would you mind, maybe we could perhaps do a trade? Do you have live music in here ever?
Well, only teeth being knocked to the floor.
What if I could pay my way with a bit of a song?
If you can come up that'll make these salty sea dogs tip-tap their toes, then by all means, have a crack at it.
Yeah, and I think I'll spin on my stool and kind of leap off. And I'll find a little corner of the bar to set myself up in, and I'll take the fiddle that's strapped on my back, and I'll start tuning up.
Shanker, I have a very important question I need you to answer truthfully for me. Who in God's grace is that woman?
That's Deke's little girl. You know Deacon, don't you?
That is Deke's little girl.
Yeah, Apparently, this is great. As you go off and begin to play, what do you play?
She's a storyteller. More than she doesn't have a beautiful voice, but she starts with a little with holding tension on the line, and then she starts kind of a sea shanty that's more spoken than sung. But as she goes along, she's very deft on the fiddle to create all of the sound effects to fill in the story. And she sort of underscores herself as she sings a song about the sirens of the Azure Sea.
That's fabulous. That's fucking fabulous. Okay. Yeah, that's Deke's girl, Hear him tell it. He knocked up a siren on one of his many adventures. Came back with little Miss Coral Hair over here.
Very interesting.
Cut 2. The door opens again. The door opens one more time, and who do... Oh, boy.
Through the door.
Why did we choose not to do cameras for this?
Through the door walks what would be 7 fucking feet of a pitch black lizard folk if she weren't so hunched and looking as if for all the world she would love to blend into the shadows. But as she walks forward into the light, you see just a very faint green iridescence when the torch catches her scales. Black, but with just a twist of that very sparkly sort of material, almost like stars in a night sky, but green. She is dressed in very simple clothes, no armor to speak of whatsoever, but very lanky, very long of build, very little of shoulder and waist, just mostly limb and height to her as she walks through the door. No shoes on her feet as her talons just click gently over the floorboards. She is not unkempt, but she has clearly not been born of refined society. And with these piercing yellow eyes that, again, would look much more menacing in a creature who meant to take up more space than she clearly does. Brown leathers, like a light purplish tinge to a couple of the garments she's picked up, a large cowl around the shoulders and neck, a hood up over her head, not quite meeting her eyes. As she walks in, she tries to avoid notice as much as possible and ambles just slinkily over to the bar.
As you do so, heads turn, and I think they would have for you as well, Campbell, making your way in here, and certainly now a lot of attention on you that you are holding sway with your song. I should have made you do me a performance check in fact really quick.
Yeah!
As we move our way through here, I got too excited.
Nope, out of the box. Oh god, it's not happening. I no longer trust that die.
You're under arrest.
We're
You
moving
had
on.
your chance.
Quick, put it in the box.
Oh, that's terrible!
That's normal.
12.
12? That's great. Oh, that's not terrible.
Badge on the die.
I think with a 12, I think it's just not what these kinds of dudes are going to be accustomed to. And so you start to play and heads start to turn, and maybe you start to hear a couple of grumbling, some chitters and chuckles, but some of their fellows begin bonking heads and throwing elbows like, shut it. And so much of the crowd is attentive to your performance as you go along.
As if I heard a grumble, I would turn directly toward them and hit a dark note and go into like a dark and spooky part of the story, making direct eye contact with them and sort of trying to like draw them in.
So this is the atmosphere in which you enter, Ree. As you make your way in, heads also turn towards you, some confounded and taken aback by your appearance. First a thief, now a lizard. What's a circus in town? Hush you. Don't you know the Serpent of the Shallows when you see her? Bit of a folk hero round here, don't you know?
And she makes her way to the bar, up to Kreb Schenker.
Whoa, look at you! Hey!
Please don't.
That's about the size of it, yeah.
That's fucking hilarious.
Master Schenker, I heard word there might be some trouble in here tonight.
Trouble? Unless you count this son of a bitch over here. Unless you're bringing it with you, we're good so far. There's only been 4 fights so far tonight, so actually we're doing pretty good.
Huh. I guess that's not exactly what I expected. What should I do if there's no trouble?
Well, I don't know. You want a drink?
Yes?
That's usually what people do, what people come to taverns for, not looking for trouble.
I'll look to Claudio here. Drink? Yes?
Another port for the lady, please.
Yeah, you're real liberal with the port when you're not paying for it there, Claudio.
Put it on my tab.
I'll put my foot up your tab. That's what I'll do.
I mean, I'm good for it if necessary, Master Schenker. That's not a problem.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to take offense. Come on, and what can I get you?
Oh, sweet is good.
I got a whole new crop of customers coming here looking for sweets. I should get some fucking candy or
Oh,
something.
my apologies. I didn't mean to offend in any way.
Oh, no, you didn't. It's just, we deal with the kind of salty type around here. If you
Salty. I want salty then.
Right you are.
Right.
Coming on up.
Okay.
And he goes back to his business beyond the bar.
Then I will shrink into the corner by the bar and try and make myself as small as possible, which is not very successful.
Why don't you give me, if you're looking for what you came here for, why don't you give me a perception check?
Let's proceed.
Try and check in on what's happening around you.
All right, let's fucking. Oh wait, there we go. Who am I? Okay, total of 16.
16. I'm a grandmother.
Grandmother.
Nice. Y'all were quick with it.
Very nice. Thanks.
Scanning the crowd, keeping a sharp notice for what may have caused your summons here. It's a lot of ramble and a lot of blather and a lot of camaraderie, a lot of venting after a long, hard day, a lot of complaining about bosses, and a lot of wishing for something more and better since the town has fallen on such hard times. But the stirring undercurrent is you're getting a lot of dark murmurs, particularly over in one corner. There is a robust half-orc sat at a table with 3 other large, burly men. They are, on the face of it, playing cards, but they are with hunched shoulders and furrowed brows. They speak quickly back and forth to one another. It's the royalists, I'll have it said. Fish started going missing. They show up. What other proofs do you need? All their troubles that started before in our town came with them. And their boats and their colours and their crowns and their king. We got along fine for hundreds of years on our own merits. Why these lots think now they can just come on in and take the place over? Not right, I tell you. Something's got to be done, I tell you. Continue, and much the same.
To an outside observer watching closely, her slitted yellow eyes narrow slightly and focus in now that work mode has been engaged. And like her tongue just faintly tastes the air to get sort of the sense of it. As though she is herself a lizard folk, she trends more towards the serpent side of lizard. She looks a bit more sinuous, a bit more
skinky.
Yes, than anything else there.
Or Nagalek.
And she starts to, she rubs the 2 empty bracers on her forearms that look for all the world like they would hold arm blades, but are currently vacant.
Oh,
Sort
like
of
some Assassin's Creed business.
Little bit,
Yeah,
little bit,
okay,
little
I got you.
And yeah, I will keep my my eyes and senses trained on these potential troublemakers in the corner.
Fabulous, then. Then, finally, the door opens one more time.
Roll a D1.
Who could it be?
And this time, we see entering the Empty Net Tavern.
So the door cracks open with a creak. As just like the peak of a hood kind of pokes in. And a beer bottle smashes against the door next to it, and you hear like a squeak, and the door closes again. And from the other side of the door, you hear oh, don't be such a pussycat. She opens the door again.
Oh my god.
And this time, that same peak of that hood kind of rushes in, completely obscuring a face and a slender body, completely enshrouded in a robe with a hood, slinks into the bar, closes the door quickly behind her, and then tentatively makes her way to the bar, where she sits down with a very forced air of casualness.
Mm-hmm. Great. I think the barkeep maybe passes by you 1, 2, 3 times before he actually catches sight of you. Oh, whoa! Oh, I didn't even see you there. Wow. You get used to the regulars about here, and now all of a sudden I got all these new folks. I don't think I've ever seen you around these parts before.
New in town. Good evening, and sweet dreams.
Thank you. Can I get you something?
Maybe you misheard me. I said good evening and sweet dreams. She just pulls back the cloak, the top of her hood, just a tiny little bit, and you see that cloak that was previously not punctured, but protruding out 2 little points at the top of her head. You see just the cat ears peeking out.
Holy shit!
You see his feet go up in the air.
Oh, worth it.
I said good evening and sweet dreams. Wink. Hood goes back over her face.
Oh, sweetheart, I'm married.
Hood comes all the way down. Wait, do you know, Layla from the temple? She sent me.
Oh, nah, you know, me and the big guy, we don't talk much these days, if you know what I mean. I don't go out to sea no more, so I don't got no need for Procan.
Oh, well, need though you may not for, the teachings of Procan, she sent me to pick up some dream mist.
Dream mist?
Yes?
You'll forgive me for saying so, hon, but, you don't seem like the kind who would typically be shopping for such a commodity.
I think you'll find that it is actually very helpful for people who are in great pain.
All right, well, don't say I didn't try. I don't have any, but if it's dream mist you're after, you can talk to old Turtleback Buckley when he gets in.
What sort is Turtleback Buckley?
He's the sort that peddles dream mist. You'll know him when you see him.
Oh, I'm sure I will.
Can I get you something while you want to wait for him? Just don't ask for something sweet.
Milk?
Oh.
Oh,
I
man.
think I got some creamer in the back. Hang on. Let me
I have to stop awing at everything.
No, you don't.
He likes to make the car bombs with creamer.
That's it.
I think I heard about.
I think that sounds dangerous.
They call the Volskyan car bomb.
Oh, shit.
Her ears have been airplane mode ever since.
Oh, yeah.
Airplane ears ever since the she is a tabaxi, just so in case that wasn't clear.
What does a fine cat like you doing in a place like this?
She would blush were her face not covered in fur. Just temple business, nothing at all consequential.
What you are looking for is expensive, and it is also dangerous to ask for in a place like this.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh dear. Oh,
Lucky for you, I am many in my cups, and I do not fear such things.
well, when this Turtleback Johnson? Turtleback
Joe?
Enough? Yes.
Buckley.
Turtleback Bill, thank you. Sorry. No, I'm sorry.
It's like you blended in with the wall there.
I mean, that was the idea.
Well, when this Turtleback Buckley comes around, you have to understand, I'm here on temple business, although I'm starting to suspect that maybe Layla is trying to pull a trick on me.
Regardless of whether you're here on temple business or not, Buckley does not care about the temple. He cares only about one thing, my dear. Gold.
Oh. Well, Layla told me that she'd already paid for it, and I was just to pick it up.
It looks like you were tripped under Layla's foot, my dear.
Oh, dear.
But I think perhaps we can work something out. You see, me and Buckley have a bit of a past. Maybe I can convince him to give you what it is that you want, and maybe I can convince him to stop asking me for what he wants from me.
It's not for me, you understand.
Oh, no.
Did you know about this, Trevor?
Who needs it?
Of course not. Of course it's not for you.
I mean it. It's not for me.
Meyz's eyes are now focused on this conversation.
Uh-huh.
Right. Why else would you be here? Unless...
Airplane ears.
Ears go fully bent back.
My goodness, she is really taken for a fool.
What?
You came to the most dangerous bar here in Saltmarsh.
I did?
Yes. Expecting to find something that is probably the most dangerous drug on the market?
What?
Yes. My goodness, your friend is not really a good friend.
I need to sit down.
Well, you're already sitting down.
She curls up on the. She pulls her knees up to her chest on the bar stool.
Here, I don't like this. You can have it. Give her my drink.
I think about that time I finish my story.
Yes, perfect. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, and the crowd Some generous clapping. Some are still attending to their games or whatever. Across the tavern hall, you hear the swishing and tinkling of coins as they land at your feet on the deck of the. And you earn, let's say, 5 silver.
Okay, I just discovered how much I want to earn money in this game. Motherload. Rosebud. I'll scoop them up and sort of anybody who's thrown them over, I'll just give them a little sweet little look, stride over to the bar, plop down, port, and then I'll take a big swig.
Great. You all find yourselves at the turning of the wheel. You find yourselves sat at the same place at the bar, all 4 of you. And I think, at this point, he's maybe, what the fuck was his name? Jesus Christ.
Creb Shanker?
Crab. Thank you.
Not that I have any further
I've got to write it down. This is the moment to write it down.
Not that I've been in this universe before.
My head's empty.
Reed's still gonna, at this point, Reed's gonna still know it better than I do. I might lean on you a little bit, Reed.
I'm just built wrong. That's fine.
You're built perfectly. Thank you. So I think, Kreb comes over, maybe even delivering another round or bringing you your first as you all kind of find yourselves in the same spot here at the bar. And he says, wow, look at you lot. I gotta say, I see a lot of the same faces. It's kind of nice to see, shake things up every now and again. And you 4 really shake things up. Gosh, I certainly hope there's no more excitement tonight.
I can certainly assure you, you'll never see me again.
I go for a toothy smile, but it just looks fucking weird.
Yeah, well, look, Saltmarsh can be a bit of a rough place. But listen, as long as your coin is good, you're always a welcome here, so.
Speaking of coin, Shanker, what is my tab at?
Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to, Claudio.
Well, it just so happens that I'm starting to realize that I might need to talk with a certain somebody who handles the tab that I owe.
Oh, yeah, who that?
You know.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you want with him?
I want to know how much I owe him.
Mm-hmm. Well, he usually comes in at a certain point in the night, so you hang around. I'm sure you'll find him before too long.
I would love to settle that debt before he came into the building.
I'm sure you would, but what do you have to offer, as my friend? Uh-huh, that's what I thought.
Well, why don't I, pick up the round? Oh my God! And I see the cat. I've never seen your like before. Oh my God!
Sorry, that's usually people's response.
Oh, wow. May I get the round for this strange band of wherever the fuck these people came from?
You know I'm a human, right?
Oh, I know. No, we've met.
Right.
Welcome. I've not seen you about town. This is my home. I think it's only right I treat you to your first drink.
You're a good kid. Deacon's, I can see Deacon's good humor. Went through the world to you.
He taught me well. If only I could find him. But how much for all these?
God, there's probably rules about that.
If it's any comfort, my goal in town is to not be noticed, so it's perfectly well that you haven't seen me so far.
How long have you been here?
About a year or two.
A year?
Well, I usually find a place under the docks or at the edge of the bay.
What about you? How long have you been in town?
A few months.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm Pippa, and I'll extend a hand over the conquistador to shake hands with the cat and the lizard.
That's right.
Goodness.
I spend most of my time up at the temple of Procam.
Oh, I see. I'm more of a worship. I gotta get this Welsh out of my mouth.
From a southern English isle all of a sudden.
I'll abandon whatever that sentence was.
Deep in the Azure Sea.
But I'll reach over and shake hands.
Meyz is my name.
Meyz.
They call me, well, some people call me the Serpent of the Shallows, but...
I know this! You're the Serpent of the Shallows!
Yes.
Congratulations! Welcome! Oh my gosh, do you know her? The Serpent of the Shallows. And what was your name?
Sabina.
Sabina! And I didn't get your name.
You're really loud.
Yes! You know, my mother's voice was so powerful, she could lure sailors right off their boats and into the depths. And that's how I came to be, actually.
Was she a siren?
Yes. And my father was out on one of his adventures, perhaps the one where he became Fish King. Perhaps you've heard of him.
I've heard of the Fish King.
That's my father, Deacon Quintelpass. I'm his daughter, Pippa.
I mean, it's great to put a face to, well, not him, to the daughter of the name. Uh-oh.
Wow, hitting it off already, are we? Well, with any luck, you'll be off on an adventure of your own one of these days, Pip.
I do hope so. Perhaps to rescue my father from whatever he's gotten himself into.
That all sounds so terrifying.
It's wonderful.
Ah, come on. I know times are tough, but Saltmarsh, by and large, is still an okay place to be. I know this crowd looks tough, but that just means you're in good company if a fight breaks out.
I just meant being out on open water.
You serve at the temple, but the water is not to your liking?
Well, the temple is on land, understand?
Oh, I might have misunderstood. But do you not worship the Storm Sailor?
Well, if we're getting technical about it, I actually worship Talos, but there is a little bit of overlap.
Wait a minute.
This is beyond my understanding.
Yes, I was about to say the same thing. You are a worshipper of Talos, yet, my dear, you are at the wrong temple.
Well, that's true, but you understand there isn't a temple of Talos in this town, and it just so happened that my skills were needed, and like I said, there is some overlap.
Storms mostly.
Right. As for my name, Claudio Fortuna Rodrigo Montebanc. But you can call me Claude.
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 Sabina.
Oh.
Meyz.
A heavy rain has started outside, and the low rumblings of thunder off in the distance can be heard.
Oh dear. Creb. I'm worried now that I don't know where he is.
Oh, what about
And this
that?
rain is kicked up. Where should I check next?
I really gotta say, I wouldn't worry too much. He's a bit of a kook, to be sure, but he's always been a solid sort. Wherever he is, I'm sure he's just, whiling the time away. Man, at your father's age, they like to go on walks and lose themselves sometimes. Waterlogged is all he'll be, honey. I promise you, don't worry.
Well, I best be on the move. Thank you so much. I'll be back. Would you have me? What if I came by every now and then and played a little song and helped my new friend Claude clear his debts?
Are you serious?
Yes, I need the practice and I don't need the money.
Right.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, that Claudio looks like you got a little guardian angel meeting you tonight. You're always welcome at the Empty Net. Give these old salty sea dogs some culture, why don't you?
And now, if I weren't in a D&D campaign, I would get up and leave.
Well, you can get up to go and leave.
So yeah, I'll swing off the stool. I'll take the 5 gold that I just got.
Silver.
The 5 silver that I just got. I'll put a silver down and slide it over to, bless him, Creb.
He picks it up and he waves it in Claudio's face. You see, this is how it's supposed to work.
Can I as a moment of like a sleight of hand, because we're about to go into a cutscene, I'm about to bring something.
What do you got?
So as she's putting the silver down and starts to walk away, Cloud will pick up the silver and place a gold piece down and slide it back.
Where'd that come from?
And we'll start to follow her as...
Wait, Miss Pippa, I don't know if you should go by yourself in such weather. It could be dangerous.
Oh, this is my home. I'm not really worried about the weather. I just need to know that my father hasn't gotten into any trouble.
I've just seen trouble befall folks who wander by themselves in the evening time.
You're welcome to come along. I love collecting new friends. Would you like to come as well?
I think perhaps I'd better not leave alone, so maybe I should come with you.
A walk in the rain, a walk in the rain at sunset. And just as the sun slips below the horizon, then we'll see the shining jellyfish come out under the pier. Come along, how wonderful!
Great.
I really hate getting wet.
I'm starting to worry about you.
It's good for the scales.
So as you rise to turn and leave to the Empty Net, the door opens one more time, and a figure stands in it, illuminated by a flash of lightning that blots out the windows. Perfect. Thank you, Kay. Thank you, Kay.
Strahd appears.
This fucking guy.
God! How did he find us?
How did he find us here?
We've been working on these characters for years.
Did you just find an earring?
I thought it was the one that I had in my ear.
Look at that.
One. I bet if I crawl around down here, I'll find it.
I bet you we brought a vacuum cleaner up here, it would break.
Yeah.
What a bounty this floor is.
I gotta get
Joke's on you, Ned. The vacuum cleaner's already broken.
I need you to give you a flashlight and a magnetic pickup tool.
Yeah.
God, that would be fabulous.
I tried to find them before. At their heart, I haven't been able to find those. You remember, like, we used to have them in school. They're like pastel-colored magnets.
Yeah, you just
Listen, you just got to go to an Advanced Auto Parts or an AutoZone. There's plenty of those magnetic things, man.
They're not pastel there.
No, they're not. They're stainless steel. But what do you want?
I want pastel, fucking Ned.
I was gonna say, what are
Girls.
Ladies.
I was gonna say, go on Amazon and get one like a fishing magnet because they have like the really the super strong ones.
Yeah.
Dad, can you get us all pastel magnet picker up?
all
Well, you only get a hook in your foot once before you fucking financially prevent yourself from doing that again.
Ay.
Is that what they're for? I had always wondered why. Because like there are a few things I care about less than fishing. It's like, why do fishermen need strong magnets?
You're a Rhode Island girly on boats. No love for fishing.
No love for fishing. Are you kidding? Fishing is the most boring thing you can do on a boat.
That is.
There are so many fun things you can do on a boat.
Like fucking.
Why would fucking's at least top 5.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Now we're ready,
Okay.
Trevor.
Let's go. We're doing it.
Just wrangle these cats back together.
Where's the tentacle? There it is.
Meow.
No, it's on my die. It's not me. I'm just the die's got.
Where's the tentacle?
No, put it. For once, I wasn't being like that.
Please don't wrangle me. I don't want to be wrangled.
So as this haphazard band of hooligans meets at the bar and gets up to head out back into the night on a new quest to find Pippa's dad, the door once again swings open, punctuated by a clap of thunder. And a figure stands in the door. At first, just a dark outline. But then, stepping in, is a young man. Can't be more than 20. This young lad comes stepping into the bar, and as he comes into the light of the tavern, his face becomes illuminated, and you can see the deep wells of dark circles beneath his eyes. He looks emaciated as he makes his way in. He begins staggering, throwing his hands up wildly, his eyes searching desperately around at all the denizens of the tavern as he begins to speak. Help me. Help me.
I catch you.
Yeah.
Making your way up across the floor of the tavern, he kind of falls forward.
I catch him.
Yeah, you scoop him up, and he looks up.
What's wrong, boy? Speak to me.
He looks up into your eyes, and you see wild fear, the eyes of a cornered animal. Gods above and below, help! They're all gone. Oh, gods, they're all dead, or worse.
Easy boy. Who's gone? Tell me what happened.
I was a sailor, a fisherman, aboard the common sea, with a crew of 40 lads. Lately, we was taken to haul in nets after dark. With the catch being as poor as it is, we figured it might give time for the other boats to clear out and more fish to arrive. And from afar, I saw on the shore such ghastly lights, green and like the fires of hell coming from our own shores. Oh, I took it to be from Moss Hamel Manor, I did. Oh, it sent a chill to me bone, it did. Filled me with a foul air and an ill omen. And I told the captain as much, and he was just about ready to give the order to weigh anchor. But as I watched him begin to speak, oh God! You see him start to like spin himself up into a moment of panic.
Can I make a roll of some sort to try to like?
What do you want to try and do?
I would offer a medicine check from myself.
Sure, yeah, go for it.
I'll sort of sweep in with Cat's Grace.
And then I'll hit with a persuasion. I'll try to like kind of reel him back in. Like, come on.
Okay.
What you telling
So
me?
medicine check and persuasion.
Just trying to like get him to lie.
To check him out and to kind of calm him.
Yeah.
16 for me.
13 for the persuasion.
13. Okay, so for the 16 medicine check, you think, first of all, it's clear he's like it looks like it's been a week since he's eaten. You know, he's totally emaciated. And he's also kind of like, now that you're up and we're looking at him, he looks completely waterlogged. But though that's because from the rain or he's been floating in the ocean for who knows how long, it's hard to tell. But he looks in rough shape. And what's more, he looks a little out of his senses. Whatever this boy has been through, it has been quite the ordeal.
Sabina is like all of a sudden like her shoulders broaden a little bit. Like she knows how to handle.
Here she's comfortable, right? Great.
Now. So as Claudio and she are like guiding this young man down to the floor, she like spins around. Crab, some hot soup or tea, water, a crust of bread, anything.
Yeah, sure. Right you are, miss. Yeah, I'm on it. And he kind of makes his way back and starts rustling around with silverware and bowls and to prepare such. What was the persuasion?
13.
13. What do you do to try to calm him?
Oh dear.
No.
Claude is like, he's like, and I think Claude just kind of like gets a good grip on the collar and is like,
Come on, boy. Talk to me. What happened? What actually happened? Give it to me.
So yourself together.
Short of
Help the man!
Yeah, help the man!
So you see him start to spin up and his eyes start darting around the room as if looking at visions of things that no one else can see. But you kind of grab him and his eyes focus again on yours, Claude.
Back to me, boy. What is it that you saw on the open water?
I watched as the captain gave the order to weigh anchor, but I saw to my horror he was ripped from our lamplight over the side of the ship by something my eyes saw, but my mind cannot fathom. And then when another lad and another, taken so fast you couldn't even catch their screams until it were only me left. And then it came for me, some creature. Its skin the colour of the sea before a storm. Its eyes as black as a moonless night. It looked at me. It looked into my eyes, and it sort of laughed. And it began to speak in a language so queer my eyes could not receive. And then a maelstrom came, a wind from the gods themselves, and lifted it into the air, back to the sky, and flew off I know not where. Oh, now don't you see? The curses the royalists begin to bring upon this. Oh, gods, they're all gone.
Right, easy. And Claude will kind of pull him close to his chest and let him sob for a moment.
Oh, gods.
You're safe.
I'm watching with wide eyes, still sipping port. Taking in this story.
An auspicious omen.
Hearing this description, does this call to mind any monster I'm familiar with?
Why don't you give me?
Release the Kraken.
Do you want to do history or nature?
Ooh, can I make a history or a nature roll too?
You want to take a nature?
Take a nature?
You want to take a nature? Sure, Claudio. Yeah, if you've been sailing this.
I was going to ask if this is anything I might have heard of in a story.
Great. Why don't you give me history then?
That's a mere 6.
6.
17.
17.
It doesn't matter.
Here, put that.
I rolled the same shitty roll I rolled the first time around.
How's religion grabbing?
Oh, sure. Go for it.
Oh, why sure?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Never mind. That's 10.
God, we don't know dick about shit.
Level 3, 10 is not nothing.
I think for many of you, combing through your various sources, from the histories and the tales and fables of legend, what the church knows of the monsters that prowl this world, and from what you have seen of the natural life in and around this place, it's not quite descript enough. It could be anything, you know. You heard him say it was the middle of the night. It could have been anything. It could have been bandits, you know, like masquerading as something. It's not descript enough to know for sure.
My friend, you said it lifted from the sea and took off into the sky.
Yeah, he saw this creature standing on the deck of the ship, and it called down a whirlwind to lift itself up into the air.
17 didn't get me.
17. Okay. And what were you rolling?
I was gonna roll. I mean, history and nature to me are both the same, so I'm gonna say
Pick one.
history.
History.
Yeah.
Okay. Loading.
I don't think I'm as nature oriented as
That's great.
you know. I'm a rogue.
I know the natural world.
I think I would have more of an intelligence base than.
I'm a rogue, not a
Both
lizard.
intelligence.
Yeah, I know, but like.
I'll bite you.
Darling, I might like it.
I'll fucking do it.
17. From the description of the attack, it doesn't sound like some sort of creature.
No.
It sounded too organized and coordinated to be some kind of monster. You can't be sure exactly what it was, but you know there are denizens of the deep out there who are sapient and capable of speech, thought, and coordinated effort. The Lokatha, the merfolk, things of this nature.
Sirens,
Sort of exactly. Yeah. You can't be sure, but it doesn't sound like just some kind of sea monster.
Beast.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'll give you with the 17.
Here's what I will say. I do not think that this was some ravenous beast on the waters. Too calculated. Took out the captain first. How would it know to take out the captain unless it knew that the captain was the one running the ship? It left the boatswain for the last one to be taken. This was an organized attempt.
Boy, you said you saw lights. Where?
Oh, coming from Moss Hummel Manor, down the coast, about 4 miles away. I think the ghastly light, I think it called them. They showed right after I saw them. I think they were summoned by the lights.
That's an abandoned place, is it not?
Give me a history check.
Nice.
And if so,
15.
Yeah, Moss Hamel Manor. About 20 years ago was the
Mark Hamill, member?
Moss Hamel.
Moss Hamill. Got it.
Moss Camel.
Moss Hamill.
Yeah.
Moss Hamel. You've lived around Saltmarsh a long time, and and you actually, I'm sure, would know this.
I was
too.
about to ask.
I know the area around a lot better than just the town.
Yeah, I'm sure would know this too. 20 years ago was the residence of an alchemist who was obsessed with uncovering the secrets of transmuting elements into gold. Since then, it has not been populated, and many in the town now believe it to be haunted. It's not the first instance of sightings of ghostly light and strange happenings coming from Moss Hamel Mansion. This is not the first reporting of such. This is the first time you've heard about these other whatever they are.
Moss Hamel Manor.
On the outskirts, beyond town.
Haunted house. An excuse for us to do a bit of ghost hunting?
Wait. At the temple, we get all manner of sailors coming in, speaking of all types of horrors at sea, and most of the time their eyes have been deceived by hunger or thirst or scurvy, and a hot meal and some rest and maybe a little bit of healing, and they're on their way and everything's fine. You surely don't think that he's actually speaking in his right mind, do you?
I have seen much in the way of monsters.
I sense a bit of fear in your voice.
Just speaking from my own experience as a healer. Also, I've spent some time at sea. I've seen nothing like this.
'Tis no great mystery what's about.
As you turn, you see that same cadre of tables who were murmuring darkly to each other earlier all begin to stand now. A huge, broad-chested half-orc and what looks like a cadre of broadly muscled men all stand, and as the half-orc kind of like strides forward, coming to stand in the center here with all of you standing over this poor sailor.
Plain as day. What's gone about here? This is the work of the royalists. In years past, they brought the scourge of the sea princes upon us, and we fought them off ourselves, didn't we? And now they are back, and look what they have wrought. Their curses and their haunting. They've ruined our trade, driven the fish away from our waters, and now they're absconding with our very sailors. This is what comes of new money. Saltmarsh belongs to us, and we should not be fit to give it over to these monsters who would throw us as chum to the water.
Across the bar, another group stands up, a mixture of men and dwarves. One of the dwarves stands and says, "Aye, by royalists, would you happen to mean my mining operation?"
Oh, shit.
Those are dangerous words to be bandying about in fair company. Ain't no royalist I ever met in fair company. Well, the more is your displeasure. And the temperature you feel is beginning to rise in the tavern.
Right, friends, if I were you, I would be leaving.
Shall we make a swift exit?
Oh, I was going to... You leave. Yeah, we'll leave. Leaving's better.
I'll be dead before I see my city die under royalist thumb. You'll be rich if you would just put your furnace in the chair and let them do their work. That's it.
Run!
I need everybody to roll for initiative.
Oh my god!
It's a bar fight. It's a bar fight.
Holy shit!
Wow.
I need everybody to roll for initiative.
Oh my god!
Darkened Tides is Kay, that's me, as Sabina Vani, Ned as Claudio, Fortuna, Rodrigo, Montebanc, Campbell as Pippa Quintelpass, Ree as Meyz, and Trevor as your DM.
Yar har fiddle-dee-dee, being a patron is alright with me. Do what you want cause a patron is free. You are a patron.
A very nautical shout out to our newest patrons, Elizabeth Rhine, Meshalanium, and Jan Castillo.
Welcome aboard, mateys.
Welcome to Patreon Corner with Campbell. We're trying something different with this campaign because after these first 2 episodes release here on our free public podcast feed, the rest of the story will be told exclusively on Patreon at the $10 Artie's Animal Companions tier and up, making this our first ever full Patreon exclusive campaign. What else is over there, you may wonder? Is it worth it? Well, allow me to entice you with an almost 4-year compendium of over 400 Patreon exclusive posts, including 3 one-shots recorded live at PAX Unplugged in Philadelphia. There's The Mosquito Witch, a classic fantasy Pathfinder adventure GM'd by Kay, The Tournament of Flesh, a 5e wrestling match DM'd by Trevor, and Goon Files Season 1.5 Operation Fulminate, handled by Daddy Ned, in which you get to hear Kay roll up a whole character and then seduce and kill a man with her in like the first half hour. I have listened to this way more times than I would like to admit. Wish you could see more of our faces while we play our games? Check out the Patreon. It's where the faces are. There are tons of gameplay and behind-the-scenes videos, including the fallout after a particularly horrifying Strahdcast event, a whole series where I take you backstage with me during a production of Peter Pan and we learn some ASL together, and a video of me and Kay doing a tequila shot and then shooting lime juice into each other's mouths from the lime-shaped bottles. It's a really good time, and there's years of backlog for you to explore, starting at just $5 a month. A large iced coffee in Philadelphia cost me $7.88 at like a normal regular coffee shop the other day. So if you make coffee at home once a month, you get over 80 episodes of Goon Talk, our Strahdcast after show, and the best perk of all, access to our community Discord where the gaggle plays. It cannot be overhyped because it is lovely over there. And if you make coffee at home 1.5 times a month, you get Darkened Tides, baby. And you don't want to miss out on the rest of this adventure because it has the unhinged energy of staying up too late at a sleepover. We are loving making it, and we are already obsessed with these characters. Woo! All right, that's a lot. Try it out. Save 10% when you subscribe annually. We put a lot of work into making the Patreon worth it, and we are so grateful for your support of our small business. The next episode of Darkened Tides comes out on April 27th, right here on the main podcast feed. So, how did I do? Are you enticed? See you in Discord, baby.